Hello friends, this is Bijay sir, your chemistry teacher. Today I have made a video for you, the students of class 9 CBSE, under the first chapter, States of Matter. Today I describe liquid state of matter. You know, there are three different states of matter. In the previous video, we have discussed about the first state of matter, that is solid state of matter, in detail. Today, I described about the liquid state of matter. The liquids are the state of matter which have fixed volume but no definite shape or boundaries. Liquids have a tendency to flow, therefore they are also called fluid. Some common examples of liquids are water, oil, milk, alcohols, etc. If a glass of water is spilled on the floor, the water will change its shape and make a layer on the floor. Because the intermolecular force in liquid state of water is very weak. Due to the weak intermolecular force, the particles of water, the molecules of water flow and change its shape and make a layer on the floor. But the intermolecular force of the liquid state is not weak enough so that the intermolecular force of liquid water is not weak enough so that the particles, the molecules of water get separated from one another. They flow, the liquids change their shape, but the constituent particles of liquid cannot be separated from one another. Clear? Now we shall discuss the characteristics of liquid state of matter. Characteristics of liquids. The first characteristics we shall discuss is shape. The shape and boundaries of liquid is not definite. The liquid acquires the shape of the container into which they are kept due to weak intermolecular force, very weak intermolecular force compared to solid state. The second characteristic of liquid is fluidity. Fluidity. Liquids are also called fluid because they can flow. They are not rigid. Means the kinetic energy of constituent particles of liquid is greater than the kinetic energy of the constituent particles in the solid state of matter. Due to some higher kinetic energy of the constituent particles of liquid, they can flow. Therefore, liquids are also called fluid. The third characteristic feature of liquid is density. We have discussed the term density during the discussion of solid states of matter. Density is the mass of a substance per unit of its volume. We have discussed already about the density. Here we have to describe the density of liquid in comparison to solid and the gas. Since the intermolecular force in between the particles of liquid is weaker compared to solid. And the intermolecular space, means the gaps present between the particles of liquid, is larger in comparison to solid and smaller in comparison to gases. The liquids occupy larger volume in comparison to solid and lesser volume in comparison to gas. Therefore, the density of liquid is less in comparison to solid and more in comparison to gas. Means the density of liquid is moderate. It is the value of density of liquid lie in between the density of solid and the density of gases. The next point which we have discussed here is intermolecular force. Intermolecular force or interparticle force is the force of attraction between the constituent particles of matter. Here, intermolecular force in this Under this topic, we have to say about the intermolecular force only that the value of intermolecular force in liquid state of matter is weaker in comparison to solid and stronger in comparison to gas. And the next topic we can take as the characteristic of liquid is diffusion. As we have discussed in solid state of matter, most of the solids are almost incompressible, and due to their hardness and rigidness, they are unable to diffuse with one another. Solids cannot diffuse among themselves. Usually, rarely solids can diffuse, which we had discussed in our previous video. Here, liquids have a characteristic tendency to flow due to weak intermolecular force and comparatively high kinetic energy. The diffusion of liquid is higher in comparison to solid. Liquid can easily mix with other liquids on its own due to the higher intermolecular space, due to weaker intermolecular force, and due to the flowing tendency of the liquid. They can intermix, and the particles of one liquid can easily occupy the gaps between the other liquids. So we can say liquids can diffuse easily in comparison to solids, but the rate of diffusion of liquids is less than that of gases. This is all about the characteristic features of liquid. Now we should start to study the gaseous state of Let us start to discuss about gaseous state of matter. Gases have indefinite volume, indefinite shape, high fluidity, very high, we can say, very high fluidity, very high compressively. If we take a small cylinder filled with gas, many times you have seen when you visit a fair, a balloon seller used to feed a large number of balloons from a single cylinder of gas. What does it mean? It means gas can occupy a large space. Gas can flow, can move freely. The constituent particles of gases are almost free to move. If a cylinder containing 1 liter of gas, a cylinder of volume 1 liter, is filled with a gas, certain gas. If you will open the knob of the cylinder in a closed room, airtight room, what will happen? The gas will spread out from the cylinder and will occupy the whole volume of the room into which you have opened the knob of the cylinder. Means the constituent particles of gases have very, very high kinetic energy. They can move randomly in all possible directions and can acquire the shape of the whole of the container into which it is kept. Means the volume and shape of a gas is equal to the volume of the internal volume of the container into which it is kept, and the shape of the gas is also the shape of the gas is also the shape of the container. Right? It means in gaseous state of matter, the matter can occupy the volume of the container into which it is kept, and they acquire the shape of the container into which it is kept. Examples of gases are oxygen, carbon dioxide, methane, ammonia, nitrogen, etc. Now we should discuss about the characteristic feature of gas. The characteristic features of gas is Gases have indefinite volume. Gases have indefinite shape. They have very high fluidity and compressibility. Under this heading we can add characteristics of gases. We can write compressibility, gases are highly compressible. Why is it so? Because in gaseous state of matter, the intermolecular force is almost negligible, and the kinetic energy of the gaseous particle is very high. They have very large space between them. Means the intermolecular force is very high. We can say the intermolecular space is the largest in gaseous state in comparison to other state of matter. Therefore, on applying the external pressure, they can be compressed. They can be compressed more and more depending upon the pressure exerted. On exerting very high pressure, a large volume of gas can be filled into a cylinder having very small volume. So, gases are highly compressible. The next point we can discuss is diffusion. The intermixing process of gases is also very high because of the negligible intermolecular force, large spaces in between the constituent particles of gases, and very high kinetic energy of the constituent particles of gases. They can intermix with one another very easily and very quickly. Means the rate of diffusion of gases is very high compared to other states of matter, that is liquid and solid. One thing we can discuss about gases exert pressure. Gases exert pressure is one of the very important characteristic feature of gas. That gas can exert pressure. As we have discussed, the constituent particle of gas are free to move in all possible directions. So the gaseous pressure is that pressure which is exerted by the gas on the gaseous pressure is that force which is exerted by the gas on the unit area of the container into which it is kept. You know, pressure means the force exerted per unit area. The gaseous pressure means the force exerted by the gas on the unit area of the container into which it is kept. The gas exerts pressure. We can describe the exertion of pressure by the gas describing a simple activity. All of we used to feel air into the balloon. When you used to feel air from your mouth into the balloon, or with the help of a gas filling device into the balloon, we also used to feel the gas, a certain gas into the balloon. The shape and volume of the balloon is very small when it is empty. No gas is filled in the balloon. When we used to fill the gas into the balloon, we observe the shape of the balloon get changed. The volume of the balloon become larger and larger on filling gas into the balloon. What does it mean? It means the gas which we are filling into the balloon exerts pressure on the wall, internal wall of the balloon, and due to the nature, which nature? Elastic nature of the balloon, it expands and its size and volume become larger and larger. This activity shows that gases have ability to exert pressure. Now I would like to discuss the compressibility of solid, comparative compressibility of solid, liquid and gas by describing an activity. The activity which I am going to describe here, the same activity you can perform at your home. You take activity 2, describe the compressibility of solids, liquids and gases. Solid, liquid and gas. Dear friends, care. I am going to describe an activity before you which you can perform at your home. See, after watching this video, you may perform this activity at your home which I am going to describe before you. Take 3 syringes and remove the needle from all of the syringe and push out the piston from the syringe. Now feel. In one of the syringes you feel any solid particles, such as you can feel in the first syringe some sugar or common salt which is available in our home. In the second syringe you feel water, and in third syringe you feel nothing. It means it is already filled with air. Now you insert the piston in all of the 3 syringes. Use to exert the pressure on the piston in which you have filled the solid substance, that is sugar or salt. As the piston, inner surface of the piston will touch the surface of the sugar or salt, and you continue to exert the pressure. You are continuously applying the force on the piston. Observe. On exerting more and more pressure on the piston of the syringe containing solid, cannot compress solid more into the syringe. It means solid is incompressible. The same activity you perform with the second syringe. Insert the piston into the second syringe containing water. As the piston will come in contact with the surface of water, and you will continuously exerting the pressure on the surface of water, you will feel the level of water does not change, it remains the same. It means liquid is also almost incompressible. But when you will insert the piston of the syringe into the third syringe containing air, when you will insert the piston into the third syringe containing air and exerting the pressure continuously, you will find the air which is present in the syringe is compressed. On exerting more and more, on applying more and more force on the piston of the third syringe containing air, the air is getting compressed towards the end of the syringe where you have sealed it with a cap, where means the volume of air becomes very small. It will occupy a very small area in the bottom part where you have used a cap to make it airtight. The air will occupy a little area, little volume. It means it is highly compressible. And here you can also observe another characteristic feature of gas, that is gas can exert pressure. As you will gradually decrease the force applied by you on the piston of the third cylinder, as you will decrease the value of force applied by you, you will feel the air from the syringe pushing your hand upward. It means the air is exerting pressure on your hand and making your hand to push upward. In this activity, we have learned the comparative compressibility of solid, liquid, and gas. This is all about liquid state of matter and the gaseous state of matter. Dear students, I have been trying continuously to provide you the study material through my videos. If you are getting benefit from my videos, I would like to request you all to share this video with your friends so that they can also get benefited. Here, I would also like to share one thing more with you, that offline classes are also available with me for the students of 9th and 10th of CBSE board, and for the students of 11th and 12th of both Bihar School Examination Board and the CBSE board. Dear all, you know, we are forced to keep ourselves we are forced to keep ourselves at our home due to this pandemic situation created all over the world. So I would like to advise you, my friend, please stay at your home, stay safe, and care your principal job. Your principal job is study. So, stay at your home, read, care your health, and care your surroundings also. And if you are getting, again I am telling, if you are getting benefit from my videos, share these videos with your friends. I shall continue to provide more and more videos for you so that you can continue your study in chemistry.